On their way out the door, two retiring Democratic senators just weighed in on one of the most vital issues for how our government works or doesn't work. It's the filibuster problem, the huge spike in how often Republicans have used the filibuster since losing the Senate in 2006, forcing 60-vote supermajorities for routine Senate business for the first time in U.S. history. Senator Chris Dodd of Connecticut addressed the filibuster problem on this network this morning, saying he definitely doesn't want to fix the problem. Nice.
I'm totally opposed to the idea of changing the filibuster rules. I think that's foolish, in my view. You can write all the rules you want. At the end of the day, if the chemistry isn't there...
The chemistry? Senator Dodd, the filibuster problem comes down to chemistry. If only the senators were closer to each other, more attracted to each other, this problem wouldn't exist. On the other hand, there's Senator Evan Bayh of Indiana, fresh off announcing his impending retirement. He told Andrea Mitchell this afternoon what he thinks about the filibuster problem. This was an eye-opener. Check this out.
There are a number of reforms that I think we need to institute in Congress. We need to look at the filibuster and reform that.
Do you think that the filibuster can be changed? Could that happen now while you're still in the Senate?
I think it can happen. Andrea, I go back to my father's time. You recall the great civil rights debates. The filibuster was being used to frustrate some basic, fundamental equities in this country. So the threshold was 67 votes in those days. They reduced it to 60. Now it's being routinely used to frustrate even low-level presidential appointees, so perhaps the threshold should be lowered once again.
Would you propose steps? Would you lead an effort in the Senate to change the filibuster rule? You'll get a lot of pushback from your own party.
Well, that's right, but Tom Harkin, some others have talked about this. I think it's something we need to do, perhaps looking at changing the threshold once again, down to 55. Perhaps saying things like administration appointees, other than the very highest ones, should not be subject to the filibuster, because it's just brought the process to a halt. And the public is suffering, so the minority needs to have a right. I think that's important. But the public has a right to see its business done and not routinely allow a small minority to keep us from addressing the great issues that face this country. I think the filibuster absolutely needs to be changed.
Absolutely needs to be changed. No hesitation there. And with that, Senator Bayh joins fellow filibuster reform fans like Senator Tom Harkin of Iowa, who's sponsoring legislation to fix it. Senator Jeanne Shaheen of New Hampshire, who introduced that legislation with Senator Harkin. The Majority Whip, Senator Dick Durbin. Senator Barbara Mikulski of Maryland. She's co-sponsoring the Harkin bill. Senator Tom Udall of New Mexico planning his own reform legislation. Senator Debbie Stabenow of Michigan telling us on this show she would like to change the filibuster. Senator Bob Menendez of New Jersey in favor of considering reform. And the Vice President of the United States, who is the President of the Senate, also expressing a desire for reform. On the other side of that movement, Senator Dodd, as you just heard, and Republican Senator Orrin Hatch of Utah, who says he doesn't want to change it either. We have calls out to all senators to clarify their exact position on filibuster reform. We've got a handful of responses. We'll let you know when we've got a bunch. Senate staffers, we know you watch. We hear from you all the time. I want you to know this is not a trap. It's okay. Just call us back. We're just seeking information. In our ongoing Rename the Filibuster Problem online contest, today's featured entries include the Tarantino, because it kills bills. The Washington Strangler, because it is a serial killer of legislation. Catch 41, right? Majoritas Interruptus. The Stop Laws program. All good. If you have a good suggestion for a new name for the filibuster problem, the competition's still happening online, rachel.msnbc.com. We are looking to declare a winner by Friday. Please keep them coming. We'll be right back.